Good evening, everybody. It is Friday evening, and that can only mean one thing. For those of you old enough, it probably means Cracker Jack, but for those football fans amongst you, and Leicester fans especially, it's the new Leicester Till I Die Friday night show, which is the opposition view. For those of you that follow Leicester Till I Die for a while, you know that we have on the website, www.leicestertillidie.com, a page that is called the opposition view, when we contact a fan from the opposing team that we're playing that weekend and ask them some not too difficult questions about the two teams and the upcoming game. And what we're hoping to do this season is do that as well, but with actually a live human being. The gentleman that did the one online is called Matthew Arnold. We're about to be joined by Matt from West Bromwich Albion Report. He does assure me that not every West Brom fan is called Matt, but we shall see. We shall see. We've got two of the Matts along with us, helped us out anyway. If you're watching on Facebook, which is the only place you can be watching us, to be honest with you, feel free to comment. Ask you questions. If they're sensible questions, I can add those in and invite Matt to answer those as well as mine. Keep it clean, keep it respectful. Matt was very generous when our chairman passed a few years ago. He was one of the opposing fans that actually came down to the stadium and laid his shirt, and I think that shows sort of we should show sort of Matt some respect for that. So I'm going to bring Matt in now, and first one I'm going to say is thank you for that Matt, when you brought the shirt down.
I think every fan should show the respect with any club in a time of need like that, definitely.
Like I just said, I think for 90 minutes, let's call each other every name under the sun. But apart from that, we are one big football family, as somebody said. Yeah. Completely. But thanks so much for doing this, Matt, and thanks for joining.
It's my pleasure.
Along.
Thank you for asking me.
No, you're more than welcome. And I did actually mention this to you just before we went live. I had it in my mind, because I know Leicester very much used to be, those of us who are an older disposition, knew Leicester as a yo-yo club. We came up, we came down, we came up, we'd come down on a regular basis. And I had that in my mind, that's what West Brom was, because I'm going to make a joke about the boing, bouncing up and down all the time. But when I actually looked back, of the last 15 years, you've actually spent 10 in the Premier League, and 8 of those were eight continuous seasons.
Yeah, definitely an 8-year spell, significant period of time, and it does get on your nerves when you hear the media or fans from the Big Six, fans who don't really are not that well informed of Albion or any other club. It does really get on your nerves when you hear them comments, and that yo-yo. Phrase, the boing, of course, it does get thrown around with Albion. But as you say, 8 consecutive years, and you compare that to other clubs, as you say, Leicester have been branded that before. They've had 7 years since coming up under Pearson. I think that 8 years, it seems like, since they won the league, Leicester, it's been feels a long time now. But that putting into context, that 8 years that Albion had, yes, it wasn't the prettiest, but it was a significant length of time, especially for a club of our size, which isn't the biggest. So I think it was almost a spell that I think looks to Albion fans' hope, doesn't put us as a yo-yo club, more of a established club throughout that time.
Yeah, I think, you didn't do too bad. You had a couple of sort of 10th places, and you even got up to 8th at one stage.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like, West Bromwich Albion, a bit like a club like Leicester. It's if you finish sort of anything from sort of 7th to 12th, we used to think that would have been a good season.
I'd be happy with that.
But I think it also shows as well there's nothing you can take for granted.
No, definitely not. I mean, that season we came 8th, and Steve Clarke was a great season for the fans and everyone to watch, as we had Lukaku scoring 18 goals. Whatever it was throughout that campaign, and we were solid at the back. Had some technical players like your Morrisons, Brunts, Shane Long up front, Jakob and Mulumbu in the middle. It was really a really solid team, which was built upon the foundations that Roy Hodgson left us the previous year. That was a great season. We had some decent finishes, as you said, a couple of top half finishes. But I personally, as a a fan. I always look back at with fonder memories of the seasons which were more enjoyable. So yes, we came 10th in the Pulis once, and fair play. I mean, you can't knock him for finishing like. We should have really came higher than that season. We were 8th for such a long period of time and just slipped down eventually. But it wasn't the best to watch. Everyone knows what it was like with Pulis. That's where the club gets a reputation. Another one being a long ball defensive side, which is totally unfair on the team currently. If you go back to the first season, we were a much better team football wise. It's more enjoyable to watch as a fan, definitely.
But I know what you're saying about football. You should go, you should enjoy it, it should be watchable. But is it better, or I fall into the camp that yes, I'd like to, I'd love to go and Leicester play like Barcelona every week. I know it's not going to happen. I'd sooner us play the long ball and win than play pretty and lose. I don't know if you're at all.
I mean, I can see definitely see the benefits. I mean, Tony Pulis kept us in the Prem for 3 or 4 years. His time in charge when we went through a takeover or whatnot, and we've never been the biggest spenders anyway. However, when you see the effects and the impacts his reign had on the club in terms of attendance is falling, fans falling out of love with it, players almost looking unhappy or sort of unmotivated, not really wanting to play for the manager, which you get when he first comes in. But I think it showed at the end of his reign. I think players grew bored of his methods. It was just it all got stale, and I think that happens with a lot of sort of mid-table, lower half Premier League clubs. It gets stale, and eventually you slip down towards that relegation zone and possibly the Championship.
Yeah, I think since we won the league and playing sort of that fast counter-attacking football.
Yeah.
We kind of, under Puel, it was dire, a bit like you said, Pulis. It was like, a minute to go, you're 1-0 down, let's play tippy-tappy football across the back four. So, I do know what it's like. But you actually hold I was looking, we have actually played, here we go, got my Stato hat on here.
Here we go.
West Bromwich Albion have played Leicester 114 times in the Football League. And you have won 51 of those, and we have only won 39. So you do hold sort of that sort of dagger over us, but we did win the last one 4-1.
Yes, that was into that Pardew era, which is completely forgettable. We talk about Pulis, you can just about have a few decent enough memories from that. When you go to the Pardew reign, that was disastrous, and I remember that game. The Hawthorns, it was we actually took the lead, and it was like, oh no, what's going on? We're winning the game under Pardew. That fell away, and again the lack of heart, the lack of desire. No one wanted it under him. The crowd were dull. Lack of attendance as it goes on and on. The nightmare of a season there. Interesting to hear that we've got the upper hand. I'm sure more of those victories would have come years ago. It took 70s, 80s. Had a better spell, but I remember the season you won the league, where we played you twice, obviously, and the game at home. I think we again one of them we maybe took the lead, or we played all right, but then Vardy, Mahrez on the counter attack blew us away. What more? I think a lot of teams might have dominated the play in those sort of games, but the quality you'd have to deliver in the precise moments would. Win your games just like that. And also at the King Power, we actually pulled off a result and drew. I was at the game on a night, and I think Craig Gardner scored a free kick, which was certainly a surprise to many Albion fans there. But we've had some good games down the years. But I think recently you probably had the upper hand.
I think the tide is slowly turning.
Yeah.
But as a club, like I say, I do kind of, despite what Leicester have done recently. And let's be honest with you, it's as much as I hope it isn't, but it's more than likely going to be sort of a one-off, and it'll be a long time before we win it again.
Who knows? Yeah.
Does what we did? Does it inspire? Because we're pretty much same sort of type size clubs, etc. We've had the
definitely.
Same does it inspire clubs like?
You're spot on with that. It's a great question, and it does. And the season you did obviously go and win the league. There was there's a feeling of great admiration, and the underdog. Everyone wanted Leicester to go and do it, and thankfully they did it. But there was also, of course, like a almost jealousy going on, because they say they're not too dissimilar size of clubs, and with a lot of teams in the middle of the bottom half of the Premier League. It was great, come on Leicester, let's do it. But also, why couldn't it be us, or why could it be them? There was a I think there was a bit of jealousy from my behalf, but it does drive you on to think, why not? Anything is possible.
Yes, yeah. Just a question here that's come up, and this is from Rob McFarlane. Guys, if you are commenting, it's easy for me to say, on Facebook, please stick your name at the end so we can give you a shout out. Just saves me looking at the other screen. But Rob is asking there, Matt, what's your new signing like from West Ham?
I presume he means Grady Diangana.
And that's easy for you to say.
Yeah, easy for me to say when you've had a year of it. But he's a player that you can't forget. You remember the name. That's all I have to say regarding that. But a great young player. Of course, we had him on loan last year, and he made an impact almost instantly. On his league debut, came on at half time where we were losing to Luton, and with a switch, just all of a sudden he comes on and scores 2 goals, and we win the game. A shot from distance and quite, sort of a instinct header. From a deflection. So just like that, almost catapulted into action and produced results straight away with great effectiveness. And from then, I think it just went better and better. He did have a few injuries mid-season, and that hampered the form of the team at the time, and we did drop off and have a few negative results. However, when he returned, he scored on the final day, big goal to get us back in the game. On the night we got promoted, countless memories of great touches, great skill, brilliant assists, wriggling away from 2 players. And once I can think of goals against Huddersfield and on the last day against QPR, where he provided brilliant assists, getting out of tight spaces. I think nearly everyone's seen the piece of skill where he flicks it onto his head and knocks it over the Swansea defender. Again, a great moment. But Diangana's got real potential, a real classy player. Of course, you don't know with young players if they'll be able to go and fulfil that potential. But he's got all the assets that a modern winger, a modern attacking player should have. And I couldn't believe that we've got him back on a permanent, especially for less than 20 million. We saw the uproar that which the West Ham fan base and even the players have had since that move went through. Great player.
Good. Just looking at last season, and I'm guessing from the other Matt, Matthew Arnold, that did my questions online for me. I think he's got here. It was a very nervous remaining 7 games.
Oh, I can't think back to them. I watched a recap of the final night earlier on, and I think I get even more nervous now watching it. Because you think we'd lost it, then we had it again, then we were winning, and then they pulled it back. It was unbelievable because Brentford had gone on such a great run previously, winning 7, 6, whatever game, how many games in a row. They've done brilliantly to win that, go on that such a streak. And I think I've seen Bilic say before, usually we'd be up or relatively comfortable of securing promotion at the time. Because it's rare you see teams go on such great runs as Brentford did, playing some great football. But we didn't help ourselves. And after the game, which we won promotion, Jake Livermore did an interview with Sky Sports after, claiming that the players cared too much. They knew the ramifications of what would happen if we earned promotion or if we didn't. Loss of jobs, staff being made redundant. It's happening, of course, around most clubs with COVID. However, if you miss out on that Premier League money, it did have effects, and Livermore said that, and they felt it badly. So they put almost too much pressure on themselves, if that makes sense. We still had some good moments, and that's why I think, again, fans and the media will underestimate Albion, as we did limp over the line. But I think that's just down to the pressure of the team, and of course, media, other fans put on them. When they play with confidence and a lack of pressure, we'll be able to show a lot of fans what we can do.
I mean, I'm looking at the table from last year now, and you actually scored 77 goals.
Yeah.
Second highest in the league after Brentford, although they probably will struggle that because they've obviously sold Ollie Watkins. You got 77 equal with Leeds, but you didn't actually have one goal scorer in the top 10 goal scorers in the league.
And that is a worry. That is certainly a worry coming into the Premier League, definitely, because you've got to score goals to get points and stay up. Because we had Hal Robson-Kanu leading the line for a period of time, who is not a natural goal scorer, but can be effective with his hold-up play and linking with the attacking players such as Pereira, Diangana, Matt Phillips, Grzycki, who can contribute to goals. And Robson-Kanu had his most efficient season in front of goal I think he's had in his career, which is great to see. But he's not a natural goal scorer. And everyone knows Charlie Austin's experience, and he scored goals in the Premier League before. But whether it be, he had a lack of pre-season at Southampton, or his legs just fading away, is he? He's lost that sharpness. Maybe he has. He didn't have a great season either. He scored a lot of penalties and decisive moments. Of course, a goal's a goal. You can't knock him for scoring big goals to win us points. However, the way we like to play, trying to put pressure on the opposition, and technical interchanging with the other attackers, it just didn't suit Austin's style. And he's great to have around the club, I'm sure, and seems a real good guy. It just didn't click for him.
I didn't
last season.
I didn't realise until I actually checked the team before we came on tonight that you actually even had Charlie Austin.
There you go. Yeah, you think Charlie Austin in the Championship. Everyone should know that, but no.
I actually lived, although I support Leicester, I'm from Leicester originally, I actually lived down in Poole in Dorset.
Same as Charlie. Charlie from there now.
And I can remember just when I came down, which was 10, 11 years ago, I think it was, just catching his last season at Poole Town, because I got quite a lot of Poole Town. And
I've seen quite a bit of Poole Town on my timeline on Twitter from Austin retweeting.
And I think the fact that he's still going is amazing. But I think one of the good things is that, I mean, we obviously, our main goal threat is obviously Jamie Vardy. And everybody knows that. And if Jamie Vardy's not scoring, we generally struggle to score. So the fact that I've got goals coming from everywhere, you've scored 77. Yeah. And nobody in your squad has got more than 15 is 10th position. You're not in that top 10, like I say.
No. That's it. I think top scorer was 11. Like that, so
but you're still getting them, which is the best thing. But
definitely, there's some really talented players amongst the strikers. You got Pereira, the Brazilian man. They're unbelievably talented. It'd be great to see how well he does in the Premier League this year.
Just a sidetrack for a minute, I have literally got to comment on this because we've got our third strip this season is a maroon, which I have no idea where that. I like the different strips. I've got to be honest with you. That's off left field, but your main strip is it a barcode?
Yeah. Yes, the barcode. Yeah, I can't blame opposition fans for being a bit, curious or sort of. I'm not sure what the word would be. Interested to hear why or what is this kit, and the kits actually date back to the 1992-93 season under Ozzy Ardiles, who was the manager at the time, and we were in what the equivalent what is League One at the moment.
Right,
so it was not a low place for the club, but they played some brilliant football that season. Won promotion at Wembley in the playoffs. It's sort of like almost a cult kit and a favourite amongst the fans. And they brought back the barcode this year, which is a bold move, especially in the modern day football. Designs are different or whatnot. It's not really a thing which is up to date. And I think I questioned it at first, but it has grown on me. But I don't know if you've seen our third kit, and it is, in my opinion, hideous. Some older fans will love it, but the red and yellow barcode, I can't stand it myself.
We had pink last season, and I have to be honest, when it first came out, I'm like, pink, what? And I bought it, I love it, and
the kids do tend to go on you, don't they? I definitely see where you're coming from
about it, and then go out and buy it anyway.
Yeah,
Who should we be looking out for? I mean, I know the other Matthew, like I say, he said your outstanding player. He's got down as Pereira. I think you may agree with that from what you said.
Yeah, completely.
Who else is likely to be a threat for you?
Well, the way that Bilic has got us playing is being positive on the front foot, short, sharp, crisp passing, being confident, and that suits the attacking players. And of course, Pereira, he's already been stated as our main threat. goals, assists, skill, flair. He's got it all. Great range of passing. He really is a top player. He does need to cut out simulation, diving, that sort of side of his game, which is disappointing to see because that might stop him from reaching that next level of top clubs going in for him thinking, oh, he dives too much, he rolls about on the floor. But Pereira is obviously a great player. We've got the likes of Diangana we just spoke about, who's got, again, skill, flair. He's direct, he can score goals, he can make goals. But can't take away players such as Romain Sawyers, who's a West Brom fan, who returned to the club after being released something like 10 years ago now from Brentford. He's a real good technical player, will keep the game ticking along, can produce great passes. Then we've got Semir J at the back, who's proven to be a bargain, athletic defender, but also not afraid to head the ball away, block shots. And of course, Jake Livermore in midfield's always been a steady player in the Premier League and in the Championship, and he proved to be a real driving force for us last season. So we've got some great, skillful technical players, but I think we've got to focus on the group, the squad as a whole, who seem to have a real good spirit around them.
Did you get a chance? I mean, obviously, you last year you weren't in the Premier League. Did you get a chance to follow the Premier League at all? I mean, did you?
Yeah, of course. As a big football fan, who can't? Yeah. You can't avoid the Premier League.
You can't, but some people just don't want to watch it if they're not in it. What did you think? I mean, as a Leicester fan, we all have our own thoughts on the imploding of the team from sort of
it was so good. It was brilliant to watch from. All the way up until the lockdown. It's so good so far. You could say up until then, and played some great stuff. Roger got Leicester playing again positive football on the front foot. I think it was you seemed like you fitted in within the top four. You were part of the top four. It was a given you were going to get Champions League before the lockdown. And that must feel great to be sort of everyone considers Leicester the top four side, and you deserved it as well, playing brilliant. But I'm just not sure what I've tried to think what happened after the lockdown. Is it pressure again like Albion had? All of a sudden everyone's telling you, what we're going to do next season in the Champions League, who we're going to buy to play in the Champions League. Maybe it was something like that. But Leicester, as looking, as a neutral, Leicester, brilliant season up until the lockdown. Great stuff. Vardy on fire. Great to see Harvey Barnes playing well. Soyuncu looking good for, in the Premier League alongside Johnny Evans, who again, we know is a class defender. It had the makings of a top four Champions League team, but all of a sudden, I've got no clue to what happened after that.
Well, I think we lost to Liverpool 4-0 over Christmas, and that was wheels coming off wagon time.
Oh, really?
You did have Harvey Barnes. How long did you have him?
We had him for half a season, unfortunately. I mean, I could have been speaking to you a year earlier if you'd let us keep him, but it's great to see him actually be recalled for a purpose, and he's gone back and played games. You can't complain as an Albion fan if he's gone back to actually play games at Leicester, and that's what he did.
For me, I think Prell called him back. I think Prell would have gone earlier than he did had he not called back Harvey. But Harvey Barnes almost came back, peaked very early. He has good spurts, bad spurts. Likes to put the ball into OZ and what have you, and can't. Yeah. But he does have a run at the defence, and he almost kept Prell a job for a little while.
Yeah, he was our last year he was our shining light because we coming back down from the Premier League. It wasn't. We had Darren Moore as manager. The style just didn't suit the players. But it was a bit of a mess last season. Yes, we came fourth, but we never looked like a convincing team. But up until Christmas or New Year or whatever, Harvey Barnes is brilliant for us. It was our Diangana or Pereira of last year. I did a lot of the feeling amongst the Albion fan base. If he would have stayed, we probably would have had the firepower to take us to promotion. But he did look, one of the best players again that I've seen at Albion recently, and going on to play for England or who knows how high he can go. He did look a brilliant player at Albion. He's gone on to do good things in the Premier League, which is great. He will.
I mean, he's still quite young, so I think he will. Yeah. He will come good. He has got the potential. But just you're talking about your team there and their attacking prowess. Do you feel confident? I mean, you look at ours and our defensive problems, our our version of Piera, our right back Piera, is out.
Yes, good player, isn't he? Good player.
Excellent, but he's still out injured. Evans is suspended.
That's a big miss, Johnny Evans. I mean, when he was at Albion, he left not on great terms. He was part of the famous taxi Ford that stole a taxi in Spain. However, he's class for what a bargain we had from signing him. Sergio as well on that relegation clause. Great signing for Leicester, so he'll be a big miss as well.
And obviously we've sold Ben Chilwell. We've not done a lot of business other in the transfer window, but there is the rumour.
It looks like is it Luke Thomas, the
Luke Thomas? Yeah, you know what us fans are like. I mean, I think he came in and did a job for us. Didn't look. I mean, the fans, for some reason, a lot of fans took against Ben Chilwell. Don't ask me why. England left back. But you know how fickle us fans are.
I do think 80 million. You have got a good deal. Or was it? Sorry, I said 80 million. What was the? 50? I don't know. I've got 80 from. I don't know. I've got 80 million from but 50 million. I do think you've got a good deal from because I looking on it, no denying he's a great player and will hopefully go on to do good things for Chelsea and England. However, I think 50 million is certainly we like
to pick the big team's pockets. 80 million for Maguire, 50 million for Chilwell.
Don't blame you.
It does mean that we've got Castagna, who we've just signed. Now he can play right or left.
Left, yeah.
So he could be at right back with James Justin being moved over to left back.
Justin, yeah. He's been left back at Luton, didn't he, for quite a while? So he's looked a decent player when I've seen him play.
Do you feel confident knowing that we have got? I mean, we could be playing our best midfielder in Ndidi.
In centre back. Yeah. I wouldn't say confidence the word. I'll back Albion to create chances. Can we put them away? I'm not sure. I mean, we brought Callum Robinson back in, who was on loan last year. Again, with him, Pereira, Diangana, I'm sure we'll create chances. Have we got the ability to put them away? I'm not sure. And then, you might have Ndidi at centre back or almost, a makeshift defence. I'm sure we create chances, but if you haven't got that striker, you're not going to score the goals no matter how many chances you create. So I wouldn't say confidence exactly the word. I think we'll make chances, but it's like I'm confident with Jamie Vardy, Barnes, Maddison attacking Albion's defence. Certainly not. I'd say I'm a bit of fear leaving a bit of fear for Sunday's game, definitely.
Well, I'm a bit worried because, and this was something I brought up with on our Tuesday night show with Craig, and that was the fact that I remember we played Bolton when they first came up, and we lost 5-0 on the first day of the season. We played Hull, who had just come up, and we were champions, and we lost 2-1.
Yes, that first game of the season. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So I might just be hiding behind the sofa till about 3 o'clock.
Yeah. I can see why you feel like that, but as I say, I mean, you might have a patchy defence, and we could score goals. Who knows? We've got the players created, but we weren't known for being defensively sound last year, and we haven't made that one addition to say, we'll be a great defence. Looks like we've got Branislav Ivanovic coming in as a pre-signing, which I think will be great business for the club on and off the pitch. But he won't be available for Sunday. I just don't think we've got that organisation now. Are we well structured enough to defend Leicester when we don't have the ball? I'm not too sure.
And I think Jamie Vardy does like scoring against you, doesn't he?
He loves it. He loves it, doesn't he? There's a corner which he always goes to celebrate and wind the Albion fans up in, but I love it. I love it when he goes, you will wish we could do the same thing, and we'd love it if it was our player doing it. It always makes me laugh. It's like, not him again. He loves it.
I can probably guess what you're going to say to this one after you got promotion, but Slavan Bilic, happy with him?
I'm struggling to find a word to describe how important he is to the club. It was we were in a dark position after losing in the playoff semi-final to Aston Villa last year, and ever since Bilic came in, he's changed the club and the feeling around the club and the outlook on us as a whole. He's been brilliant, and he's played a big part in some of these signings coming in. And it's been a while since we've had a manager which we can fully get behind and back, and he deserves more more finances to spend, better resources. But I said we all get behind Bilic. We know what he can do, and if it doesn't go to plan, if we aren't picking up results, I'd call for all Albion fans to really stay patient. And we've seen what he did last year, and we weren't underdogs to go to get promotion, but we lost a lot of players. We lost goals of Dwight Gale, Jay Rodriguez. We lost Dawson. We lost a few of the loan players. And Bilic changed the club as a whole. I've said I've got no word would do justice to how important he is to the club.
Would you swap him for Brendan Rodgers?
That's a great question. Oh, I think the only it's sort of the emotional connection to Bilic. I'd have to say no. But I mean, Brendan Rodgers done great thing at Leicester and at Liverpool when they almost won the league. But I think that emotional connection to Bilic.
I get that.
I think if you asked me, before we appointed Bilic, would I rather take Brendan Rodgers or Slaven Bilic? I'd say Brendan Rodgers all day. But after what he's done to the club, he's got
you there, hasn't he?
I've got my Bilic heart inside. It's just I can't let go of the feelings towards him.
Just to finish up with, then because we have a prediction chat on the website again, leicestertillidie.com. And we have sort of ex-Leicester players that sort of join me in guessing the score.
Oh, great! Right.
You probably don't know half of these, but Steve Walsh, he's gone.
Steve Walsh.
Yeah, Steve Walsh, 2-0 to Leicester. Steve Linux, did he? Oh, he didn't play for you, did he? No. He's gone 2-0 as well. And then Ian Marshall, one of our ex-strikers, has gone 2-1. I've gone 1-0. So we've all gone. It's a bit like the Sky Sports panel, this, isn't it? I've gone 1-0. I've gone 1-0 Leicester. And I think I might regret that. I think because I think you will get a goal with our defence.
Yeah.
I've gone 1-0. What would? I don't expect you to bat against your team, but what would?
I mean, I think on a platform like this, I can't go against Albion, and I've got to stay loyal to them. But as you say, I think we might score a goal. However, I can't see us keeping a clean sheet, so I'll opt for a safe 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Somebody's just gone there 3-0.
Well, to Leicester, I presume I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet against that.
0-3. So I think that is. I
think a whitewash could be possible if you're attacked on top form and we're having an off day. Something like that could really happen. But as we've mentioned, the Leicester defence has got injuries and suspensions, and who knows? I do think we'll attempt to create chances, and who knows where that could lead to.
I think it will also depend which Leicester turns up, to be honest with you. If you say if it's the Leicester that started last season, you could be on a hiding to nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
If it's the Leicester that finished last season, it could be the most boring 0-0 we've ever seen.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, just full of missed chances and errors and whatnot. No, but I think no matter the result, I think both teams should have that sort of. I mean, there's going to be more pressure on you to get results almost instantly if you're looking to get the top four and finish towards that, the Champions League positions. But I think Albion will play without pressure.
I think the pressure will be on us.
Yeah, and that'll do us more than having pressure on Albion.
Yeah. I think the way the season finished, Brennan's got to come in, and he's got to. This will be the season when he really earns his money, but we will see. Look, Matt, thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. The 30 minutes have flown by.
Yeah, I'm going to extend an invitation to the return match if you're up for it.
Perfect. I'd love that. That'd be great. I'd love that. Thank you.
Well, that if we beat you, if you beat us, I might never speak to you again.
Being a newly promoted team, you've got nothing to lose. I'm just going to enjoy watching the game.
Exactly. Well, hey, it's lovely to have you back. It's always nice to have other Midlands in.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back.
Hopefully, we can. We'll all be here next year, and who knows? Even if someone like Blues come up, we could have even more fans Premier League club. So who knows?
Yeah, like I said, if the Blues come up, we've got 6 points each, haven't we?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. There you go.
That's me just upset everybody.
Dear me.
Right.
Oh,
Anyway, thanks very much, guys, and
it's been a
everybody.
pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
very
you for
much.
watching.
Yeah. Join
Perfect.
us after the match when I will be with Brad, and we'll be looking at the post-match, having a post-match chat. Hopefully, we'll have beaten West Brom. Sorry, Matt. I'm sure you can't blame me for that. Hope your season starts from Monday onwards. I'll see you all soon. Take care,
Thank you for
everybody.
watching.
Stay safe. Cheers.